Hey, it's Thursday. Almost, it's 11 o'clock. Number two and her mother went for a drive last night. Went down, grabbed some things. Comes in, says, just before they got back here, left front started making all kinds of noise. So, naturally assume brakes first. They're crazed a little. There's still enough there. When you go like this,
yeah, I wondered. I really did.
Tells me the wheel bearing's not there anymore. So yay. I think we're gonna leave those brakes alone for now. They're down, but why replace them when there's still that much left? I don't know. So hey, just another day in paradise. Hey, shove everything in so you can't do anything. So we can do that. And actually, the girls are working on that. I got to get fertilizing, so more to come. And she's already saying words. You should have heard the words that came already. Yeah, engineers ought to be shot. This is a 3-bolt pattern holding that wheel bearing assembly on. The back one's easy. The front one's got the tie rod in the way. And the top one is right underneath the frickin' ball joint. The bolt for the ball joint prevents you from getting a socket and ratchet on it. All you can use is an end wrench. And she's currently attempting to get, she wants the impact. This is old school impact hammer. She's working on the front one because she really can't get into it either with the tie rod on the way. And luckily they got one in town. I think it was 260 some frickin' bucks. At least the brakes got another 1/4 inch before they hit the squeaker. So that's how she's going to be. This is the first one on the Tahoes. Both Tahoes have pushing 200,000 on them. This is the first one we've had to do on either one of them. My pickups got, both of them have been done, I believe. And Mom's pickup has had one done for sure, maybe two. Yeah, 2, because put a new one in and it made it about 2 months. And Dad's old pickup has had both done. Of course, all of them were at 150,000. So, and let's see, the old squeaker, the white flatbed, the 90, that one's had one of them done. Yeah, sometimes they last forever, sometimes they don't. But look at the mechanic's dirty. She's supposed to be working on trying to extract an engine and put it in a skid steer, but other things got to get done. So yeah, mechanic in day. Show you more later. Hey, she lives, everybody. This would be the cockpit of the Fertlizer buggy. It hasn't actually made any debuts in any videos. It's kind of been seen here and there. Not that you can see much, but this is the cab off of New Holland 1892, I think. Chopper. 4-8 harvester, whatever you want to call it. It's about 10 inches shorter than it was originally because we needed to keep this thing short enough to be able to trailer it. The box, you can see it there. That's a John Deere 605 box. It'll hold a couple ton. It'll hold more than I want to go most places with. All the noise right now, most of it other than the engine noise, is hydraulic drive air compressor that's mounted underneath the box. It only runs if the box is not on. And she's just showing us one of the goldfish out of the tank. They get fat like that one is if you saw it, and their days are numbered. That one's actually been that way for about a year. So now we're down to 3. They're not back in the water trough yet. They need to be. This thing's got a 318 Chrysler Industrial that's built to the hilt. So they'll climb with the best of them. But running that crappy gas that the government wants us to use, we've been through 2 carburetors. And now I finally got it on good gas. and it'll actually, after it's been started and run, it'll start on its own. Otherwise, first start every day, gotta use ether. Drives me crazy using ether on a gas engine, but it won't do it unless you ether it. Put full electronics in the distributor last year. That was fun because the distributor is literally right underneath my butt, and there's just enough room to use a short screwdriver to get into things. And you do it at arm's length because that's as close as you can get, and you can't get there from this side. So, gonna see about getting some white stuff out of there. Usually this thing gets a good cleaning before it goes out, but I'm really thinking I may just make sure the chains and everything are working, make sure the electronics are working, fill her up and go, because it's going to get hosed off at the end of the day anyway. No AC because we don't have it on the buggy. It is in the cab, but that don't be no good when there's no pump or any of that stuff. And no opening windows, just the door. So I don't like to run with the door open. The fan does work, draws outside area, but I won't spread with the door open if I can help it. So I'll be a drowned rat. The good thing is fuel tank's on the fuller side, air compressor's working like it should, voltage is up. Water temp came up awful quick though. As long as it don't go much higher, this thing does run hot. I didn't even check that. Got to pop, the only thing you pop the hood for is to look at the water level. Tank's underneath my little hood. That hood's the flywheel cover off of 4900 Heston baler. And it's already getting warm in here, so I'm going to let you go. Hopefully my brakes aren't froze up. Help if I hit, oh, hey, it wiggled when I hit the button. So they're not froze. When I'm done for the year, we hose the living hell out of the brakes. And then while they're released, I douche them with diesel. And literally wash them out with diesel before it gets parked. And that keeps them from rusting together. And they still work fine. Little diesel don't hurt. So, alright. I'm going to see if she'll move and maybe bring you back and show you around. The brand new pretty wheel bearing. Mounting's done. She just got to tighten up the 3 mount bolts. And she's trying to get that stupid plug-in lined up. Let's put it in a fun place and then not have it want to go together. And there she is, boys and girls. In all her glory. I got to tighten up power steering belt. It's slipping. It actually uses the automotive power steering pump off the engine for the steering. It was slipping a little last year and it didn't get done when we cleaned her up and put her away. And my connection with God was working. I got to the top of the driveway underneath some trees, turned around and come back down, and my connection quit working. It wouldn't reconnect. And I'm hoping it's just all the dust on top of the GPS antenna. But it's on the right rear corner of the cab, not easy to get to. Otherwise I was going to wipe it off, but you know, we put it on the same side as all the controls. So, and anybody recognize the color of the paint in that dual wheel? The inside one matches it. Those are off old Wiener combines with 2 old truck split rims welded back to back together to make the spacer between them. So I can pull the dual off, pull the spacer off, and be just over 8 feet wide. But there's really no reason to do that other than knocking stuff down. But what's the difference if you knock down 8 feet or 12 feet? Because either way, I still got a fat tire on the front. So,
hey, I'm not on your tire.
Yeah, she says she's not on the front of the buggy. Huh? And yeah, they're having fun with this thing. All right. I'll bring you back for something. I don't know what yet. Hopefully I'll be spreading some fertilizer. I'll come back in here. Had to tighten the steering belt up and do whatever. And let's see. The little thing with the yellow wire sticking out. That's the brain for my connection with God. Cable runs up the post and out through the back and little hockey puck sits right on top. Let's see. Micro track controller. It was one, the guy we bought the chassis off of happened to have that. Did him some horse trading. Traded him a couple steers for pretty much everything. The dash is the original, except it didn't have squat for gauges in it, so that's everything we put in it. Most of those are out of a scrapped Fertlizer truck. A couple of them were new. Air park brake valve. It's got a 5-speed new process transmission in it that was rebuilt shortly before we got it. But of course, hey, 5-speed new process. It don't stay in gear. First gear it'll stay in almost all the time, but under compression, second and third gear, just be ready to hit the brakes because God knows where you're going. We set this up for an on-off on the Draper separately because it was suggested that might be an idea. It does the same thing this switch right here does. This switch turns it on at the control, that just shuts it off in between, so why have it? We're on foam mark. Got an idiot light for that. Idiot light for the Draper too. Of course, the Mighty Tack, and this thing usually runs more than it should be redlining. The Jake brake switch. Yes, you don't have a Jake. That's my light switch, off, low, and high. Horse turn signals. Air brake. Clutch is hydraulic. It's stiffer and stiff. It gets kind of hard on my knee. I did put a 12-volt plug down there. And we got a bunch of breakers down there and a couple extra circuits. The Mighty radio that was in the cab, it does work. All I do is put 2 speakers in. The blower fan works, thank God. And it brings outside air in, so that's a good thing. That mirror, about all I see in it is what's in the tank. If I'm on the road, I can kind of see behind me, but not really good. We mounted the mirrors off below the windshield because there's really nowhere up above to do it without getting too high, and they'd have to drop quite a ways. And they're not the best. They're out just far enough to clear the box so I don't hit stuff. They work. Just got to remember it's kind of a cumbersome machine. Let's see. The heart of it all. The other end of the rod down there is that's just a diverter valve from one circuit to another. Down is the box is turned off and power goes to the air compressor, which has got a reverse switch in it actually. It's a normally open switch. It closes to turn the air compressor on. It's just in between 2 hydraulic lines, between the pressure line and the return. Pull it up, turns the box on. Take it down, turns it on. This down here, that's just a, oops, I gotta leave that back. That was actually intended to be for a set of remotes, but that's what we have the air compressor hooked to. Let's see, what else? Oh yeah, this had a regular freaking car radiator in it when we got it, but yeah, he took some hydraulics off and was using this to pull the grain drill planting grass seed. Very last field when he finished, he went to raise the drill and he didn't quit raising it when it got to the end, and he didn't have the bypass valve in, the relief valve. So it surged everything. It broke the harmonic balancer on the front of the engine because that's what the pulley was hooked to, and it's a cogged pulley. Put the pulley through the radiator. So we had some fixing to do. He gave us another radiator. Well, yeah, it wasn't any better than one that was in it. So the radiator that is in this is actually out of a Bryant corn picker. That's where we got the ladder too. The ladder is set up so it still pulls up, but if it's up, the door's got to be shut. Well, actually, it'll come up with the door open, but there it is from here. Doesn't do a lot of good to raise it though. I just figured if we ever bury the thing, at least we can get the ladder out of the mud. That's the hydraulic tank. It was on it when we got it. That is the reason why we have these tires. I had some 66s. 66s would come up past the front of that, past that tank, past the mount on it actually. Whole spray tank, 12 volt for the foam mark. With the air compressor tucked right there. There's that little radiator back there. Oh, what else? I guess that's most of it. Others than, yeah, I did put 605 on it because that's what the box was. And that's the hydraulic motor for my compressor, which is down there. Hopefully you can see it. I do got a little leaky, transmission leaks. And actually there is a seep in the hydraulics, but I think most of it's transmission, rear seal leaks. So it spins it all over everything. That's just what it is. That's what the oil spots are out here. That's what they're from. And here. So it's gotten a little worse than it was. I ain't gonna take it apart to fix it right now. That'll go on the list. Great battery holder, but it works. Mighty engine. And this has a truck rear end underneath it. That's what we did to get the air brakes. We got rid of the one that had the hydraulic to it. And hey, look, you can see yourselves. Little touch of class. I figured put that on there, at least keep from getting shit in it. Stuff can still get in the hand holes on the wheels that I used for spacers. I just butt them together and welded them up. Measured everything, and they're just about as true as can be. Picked these tires up with the wheels in them for $100 a piece. I think we give 3.5 for the front one with the wheel, and it's off a Bomac roller. This end of it, the end plate's bolted to the wheel because the motor, drive motor for the roller was inside that wheel. Just had a one-sided yoke. It works. Can't complain about it. So, I guess that's about it probably for the day. It's too freaking warm out to do anything. It's 80 degrees, people. We were 40 degrees for a high not very many days ago. And hit 75 yesterday, 80 today. I did plan on getting some spreader done today, but I also like to clean the machine up at night, and I'm not going to go out for the, I got an hour, hour and a half where it's still going to be daylight enough to run. I'm not going to go out for that long and then spend an hour in the dark hosing this thing out. I'll try to get at least to get a good half day in tomorrow, make it worthwhile. Then the dust and the pollen can get off of here. Pollen's dropping like crazy. Everything around here turned yellow today and yesterday especially. So with that one, that's our buggy. Let's see if I can get you some video of it running. Maybe even get a kid to come out and take a little video while it's flying across the field. But for now, yeah, my day ain't done, but it's done with you. So Thursday the 9th, about 5 o'clock. Y'all have a good evening. And hey, I also want to say a quick thank you to Andy Detweiler. The video I put up this morning for him, he picked that video up and shared it. So I have a few more subscribers. Thank you, Andy, and thank you, new subscribers. And as always, thank all my subscribers for being there for me. I appreciate it. I don't even know how many I have right now. I haven't looked. But, last thing I saw, it was like 7:30 or something like that. And, hey, it's still going. And I really wished I could have got you a picture of me backing in. I can't see much out those mirrors. I can't see that out the mirror. And there's a ladder against the other wall. I don't know how far it is from touching. It's got to be within about a half an inch. So I'm not all the way back either. It's like, I don't have to go back that far. It's in enough. The dew ain't going to catch it. It'll be dry in the morning. And I don't fertilize first thing in the morning unless it's on dirt. Because if you got live plants growing and it's cold and crisp in the morning, it's kind of like lettuce out of your crisper. It snaps easy and it don't come back. Or it'll just lay on the ground and stay there. And if you're cutting hay, you can't pick it up. It's stuck to the ground. So do it when it's hot and it's flimsy. Give it a few days and most of it will come back up. And what doesn't usually comes up by the time you cut hay that you don't leave tracks in the field. I've done that before where, here's 12-foot swath every 40 feet all the way around the field that you can't cut it because you can't reach it. Oh well, that's enough of that. Hit the like button. Subscribe if you would, please. And hey, everybody else says share it. Hey, if you want to, share it. Maybe you know somebody that's working on a buggy and wants to see what an old one looks like. The main part of this was actually built in about 1962. And, well, you know, New Holland Cab, whenever they were building those I think it was 1892. Either maybe it was 1880 something, I don't know. Anyway, that was the model number of the chopper. And a John Deere 605 box. So, thanks for watching, everybody.